Things are getting pretty interesting on the Derek Carr trade front, especially with Vincent Bonsignor, or Vinny as we know him, affectionately know him, tweeting this out yesterday. Just for clarity's sake, the Raiders and at Saints, have agreed on compensation element of a trade for Derek Carr. That was always the requirement for any team to get permission to speak with Carr. Now, there's a couple different things I take with that. For number one, the fact that it makes a lot of sense for a team specifically coming and trade for Derek Carr. Like when we talk about the fact that this man, I believe, had a no trade clause. They have to be able to agree to the team that he's going to be traded to. So in other words, Derek Carr has to be okay with the team that he's going to, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, we're talking about a guy that was with the Raiders for a good while, all of his career. He's been in a couple of playoff games, and it's just been kind of one of those things where it hasn't gone according to plan. And despite the fact that this year with Devontae Adams, things again didn't go according to plan, I still think Derek Carr can salvage a career in the NFL. I still think he can find something special with the Saints. And if I'm being honest, no matter what it is, no matter what they trade for the Saints, no matter what they get for Derek Carr, I think it's a win-win. If you look at both, specifically where both of these teams are going to get, and plus where they're drafting at, I think it definitely makes a lot of sense. So the Saints right now currently going to pick at 29, and I think it makes a lot of sense, especially when you consider the fact all of the different things that they will, the players that they will have available to them at 29. Now, I'm going to show you kind of some of the things here to give you an idea, but at the end of the day, you got to be honest about particularly where they kind of fall with these quarterback prospects. So, and I'm hoping to, kind of give you an accurate representation of what it's going to look like. But, I'm going to play out my first round here, draft here, if things will start to make it for me. Here we go. And there. Oh, there we go. Okay, I apologize. So, starting the draft, you're seeing a lot of different things going on here. Especially for 4 or 5 quarterbacks going in the top 10 picks. That's rough. So Tanner McKee sitting there at 29 is going to be something that's interesting, especially for the Saints. But if they don't want to go that route, if they want to instead address other needs that they might have, I really think that this team could use another wide receiver. It would be interesting to see if they could get a guy like Kalijah Cansey in there. I think the fact that they're going to be at 29 and 40, there's going to be a lot that they can do. And I think even trading up back into the first round. Are you going to sit here and tell me that if the Saints didn't go back and trade for number 30, so they had 29 and 30, that wouldn't be a little interesting, just a little bit interesting? So what are you going to get for Derek Carr? You're probably going to give up a third-round pick. You can still get back up into the first round, get some major needs, and you're back at competing, baby. Like, let's be real. Derek Carr has never had a top 15 defense. He has never had multiple, number one wide receivers, all at least at the same time. Okay, maybe he's had some talent, but he's never had that defense to go along with it. And the Saints have that in spades. So, and then you got to look at it from the Raiders' point of view. And again, the Raiders, are going to be in that situation where they're picking at 7. And to be quite honest with you, it's going to be very interesting because a lot of teams in front of them are most likely going to pick quarterback, which, again, makes sense. It is what it is there. So we'll bring you to a scenario for the Raiders. If it'll just, there we go. Okay. So the Raiders, again, top 5 here, Jalen Carter, okay, unless the Bears trade down. But C.J. Stroud, Will Levis, Bryce Young, all those guys are most likely going to go before that. And yes, you'll have your pick at Anthony Richardson, or even guys like or Tanner McKee, So you're going to have your pick at quarterbacks. But at the end of the day, the Raiders are in a spot where they're not going to get their pick. There's a good chance they are really in love with guys like C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, and all of them. I don't know that necessarily a lot of these teams are in love with Anthony Richardson. Yes, could he be Cam Newton 2.0? Absolutely, but I don't think that's necessarily the case, or a lot of thoughts by NFL teams right now, because there's not a lot of tape to back it up with it. And I think the Raiders are in a good position if they do trade Derek Carr, because Jarrett Stidham is there too. So even if they don't go quarterback, it is what it is. But let's make not any mistake about this, because Derek Carr going to the Saints would be a win-win. He'd be out of division. Both teams are kind of in flux with their respective picks. If either one of them wants to go quarterback, and neither team will be, I don't think, upset with the trade compensation. The Raiders drafted him in the second round a couple of years ago, and then also the Saints would probably give up a third-round pick this year. So, but I think it would be a win-win for both sides, and I think it would make a lot of sense, especially for Derek Carr. But let us know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate appreciate all the support that we've gotten and continue to get. You guys are all truthfully awesome. We love every single one of you. Down in the description below, you'll find all of our social media platforms. So give us a like and a follow there. Also, remember to give us a listen and sub on iTunes. And finally, if you have anything else you'd like us to cover, send us an email at thesportsbp@yahoo.com or put it in the comment section down below, and we would love to cover it. But let us know what you guys think about Derek Carr going to the New Orleans Saints and the win-win scenario that would follow.